Alright folks, picture this. A world packed with magic, which sounds cool until you realize it also spawned terrifying demons in their lovely little lairs. But hey, with great danger comes great power, right? The same magic that made these monsters also created awakeners, basically humans with superpowers. You know the drill? And right now, the absolute strongest of these awakeners are about to throw down with an SSS-ranked Demon King. Meet Belphegor of the Five Elements. Sounds important. These are not just any heroes, my friend. They are the world's most powerful awakener squad. They call themselves God's Legion. A little on the nose, but we will roll with it. Their leader is this guy, Bai Yi. He's been running this crew for a solid 10 years. Their job is pretty simple, really. They just help out a supreme authority called God by wiping out every single demon lair. Bai Yi gives the signal. God's Legion. Operation start. Let's get this party started. This is their 100th high-level demon lair. So just another Tuesday. Bao Li, the team's L-rank electric assassin, chimes in. Yes, Captain. She's all locked and loaded. This is an L-rank purification mission, which is basically the highest difficulty setting in the game. Here's Han Xiaolin, the L-rank cloud mage, casting Glacier World. They're all hyped up for this mission, because what's at the end of it? A much-needed vacation from demon slaying. Now that is motivation. Lucian, the L-rank galaxy conductor and resident support guy, pops his skill Starfall Gravitational Pull. This little buff juices up his target's strength by 200% and speed by 100%. Not bad for a support character. And just like that, Bai Yi plummets to the ground, supercharged with a 100 times gravity boost. Boom! He hits the ground with enough force to rearrange the landscape. The shockwave just rips through the battlefield, completely vaporizing the Demon King. Talk about overkill. And there he is. Bai Yi, L-rank nuclear element holy swordsman, just standing there like it was nothing. And just like that, the SSS-ranked demon is officially eliminated. Bao Li sighs, complaining that it was over too fast. Hin Xiaolin is so bored he is literally stretching. These guys are too strong for their own good. But Lucian, the quiet support guy, points out that this was supposed to be a top-tier mission that needed the whole squad. He asks Bai Yi, "Don't you think that was a little too easy? Foreshadowing anyone?" Bai Yi agrees while cleaning his sword. The mission briefing said this Demon King had 5 elements and a hidden skill. Where was it? Suddenly, all serious talk is interrupted by Bao Leg getting way too close to Bai Yi. She reminds him about their vacation and asks if he is buying dinner for everyone, or maybe just the two of them. Smooth. Very smooth. Our boy gets totally flustered and shoves her away, stammering that they will all go to their usual spot. Classic dense protagonist move. Bao Le pouts that her sneak attack failed again and that he just does not get women. Even a little Chibi Shaolin agrees with her. But then Bai Yi's face gets serious. The mood just shifted. He looks around. Wait, where's that guy? Lucian said that guy was staying behind to clean up. Bao Le just brushes it off, calling him the slowest one who is always slacking. Oh, if only she knew. Meanwhile, from a distance, a certain someone raises a hand, green energy swirling around his fingers. A system message pops up: purification mission. And with that, the mystery guy snaps his fingers. He says one word: activate. And bam! In a split second, black spikes shoot out of the ground, skewering Han Xiaolin and knocking down the others. The team is caught completely by surprise. You can see the pure shock and pain on their faces. And just like that, Xiaolin is dead, lying in a pool of his own blood. Well, that escalated quickly. The man announces, "This is the true mission given to me by God. The betrayal is real, folks." Bai Yi tries to fight back, but he is totally paralyzed. Then the horrifying truth is revealed. They have been eating paralyzing powder in their breakfast for the last month. A whole month. The traitor then unleashes his god's skill, Forbidden Tendrils. Because of course he has a skill with forbidden in the name. These massive vines wrap around his old teammates, lifting them up. The mission was never about the demon, it was about them. As the poison takes full effect, Bao Le can barely manage to ask, What are you doing?" The traitor just says this is God's will. The L-rank purification mission was meant to purify them, permanently. Bao Li screams for help one last time before a giant tendril smashes right into her. The vines start piercing through his teammates one by one. This is just brutal. All Bai Yi can do is watch in absolute horror as their blood splatters across his face. His eyes are just burning with pure helpless rage. Another teammate is killed right in front of him. This is a total massacre. The traitor looks down at the absolute carnage he has created with a smug grin. Trapped and totally helpless, Bai Yi screams, Why? Why eliminate us? God's Legion has never done anything wrong. Which God ordered this? By what right do they have to do this to us? He is absolutely losing it. The Triator just calmly walks up to him. Oh, old captain, you are so naive. And then he sends a massive tendril straight for his former leader. His response is ice cold. If a god wants you dead, does there need to be a reason? And just like that, the tendril punches straight through Bai Yi's chest. Coughing up blood, Bai Yi asks, "What about you? Were we not comrades? We have been together for over 10 years, like family." The traitor just scoffs. "Comrades? Family? You still do not get it, do you? The day we first met, God was already setting up this entire game of chess. And you were always just pawns. I have been acting this whole time, just to gain your trust." As Bai Yi lies dying, the traitor admits how much he hated having to act for 10 long years. And with the job done, he stands alone in the middle of the carnage. A system message confirms it. May 22nd, 2125, all members confirmed dead, rank purification missions complete. His decade-long mission is finally over. The traitor sighs in relief, ready for his own vacation. Bai Yi's life fades away, his last sight being the tendrils pulling out of his body. But in the darkness, a mysterious voice echoes. "Hey, let us make a deal." Of course, the classic post-death deal. Suddenly, Bai Yi's eyes snap open. He is not dead. He is somewhere else. Huh, where is this? He wonders, noticing he is wrapped up in some seriously heavy chains. Then, a smirking guy in a sharp suit just fades in from the shadows, greeting him like an old friend. Bai Yi's eyes go wide. It is the Demon King he just one-shotted. "You are Belsug? You are not dead?" Belsug just scoffs. "Please, how could an SS-rank Demon King be so weak? This is my soul space, my true form." He gets right to the point. "I can sense that you, like me, are now filled with hatred." Yeah, no kidding. He offers Bai Yi a deal, revealing his hidden skill, life reversions, while turning into a giant, spooky dragon. This skill can send him back in time, giving him a chance to change everything. Belsug asks with a sneer, "Do you want that?" As Bai Yi thinks it over, memories of his friends flash through his mind. He remembers all the good times when they were more than a team. They were a family. But those warm memories shatter, replaced by the nightmare of watching them all get murdered by that traitor. His face twists with pure fury. With a roar, he makes his choice. I will kill him. He vows to not only kill the traitor, but also the high and mighty gods who set the whole thing up. Belsug grins, totally satisfied. "Yes, your answer is not unexpected. It is enough. Let me help you one more time." And then he offers Bai Yi a glowing, pulsating heart. "Consider it my welcoming gift to you." Bai Yi is suspicious, as he should be. "You want to make a deal with me? And what is the price?" Belsug just smiles, not answering the question. "Here." Yeah, that is not ominous at all. Suddenly, a woman's voice screams through the darkness. "Bai Yi, do not sleep. Hey, get your butt up now." His eyes fly open. He is in a classroom looking at his own, much younger hands. "I really came back. It actually worked." He is back in his old school uniform. "I am back to before I awakened." The furious teacher slams her desk, screaming at Bai Yi, who looked like he dozed off in class. She yells, "Bai Yi, you can mess around any other day, but you're sleeping on profession change day. Get to the back and stand there now." But wait, a stunned Bai Yi looks down at his hands. They're young. He's not an adult anymore. He's actually back in junior high. Could this be Belphegor's power? This is unbelievable. He's actually been reborn. This changes everything. He looks around at the familiar faces of his old classmates, people he hasn't seen in nearly 20 years. After sending our boy to the back, Teacher Huang gets the class's attention. "All right, let's continue. Pay attention." She dives into her lecture, explaining the 5 core elemental powers of the world: lightning, fire, cloud, core, and star. Listening from the back, Bai Yi hears the most important rule of all. Every single person can only ever possess one element. With a smirk, she flexes her own power. "Like me," she boasts, "I possess the rarest element of them all, cloud." She explains that when you combine these 5 elements with different roles, you get a massive variety of professions. They're broken down into 3 types: combat, utility, and special. Imagine a guild with a cloud warrior and a lightning assassin, totally overpowered. She tells them, as potential awakeners, you're already elites who've been praised your entire lives. She leans in, getting serious. But today is the real test. There are nearly 100 professions, split into 4 tiers: Dust, Firefly, Abyss, and the God tier Skyglow. Still keeping up with all these tiers, folks? We're getting confused. And with an intense grin, she drops the bombshell. Every single one of them gets only one shot to awaken. No do-overs. She declares, "This afternoon, this very moment will decide your entire future in this world." After class, Bai Yi walks the school grounds. A wave of nostalgia hitting him. He really did miss this. He remembers this is where it all began. This is the exact place where he first awakened in his past life. Suddenly, a student with glasses gets violently shoved to the ground right in front of him. Bai Yi glances over his shoulder, completely unimpressed. Here we go again. It's a classic bully squad, standing over the fallen kid. The leader sneers, "Just a bunch of trash who need help to awaken." He grinds his foot on the poor kid's hand. "You dare block my way? You think you're hot stuff just because you're about to awaken?" A red aura flares around him as he boasts, "In front of a rare red quality awakener like me, you'll always be nothing." Bai Yi recognizes the school bully instantly, watching as he snatches money from the terrified kid. He remembers this clown was a total pain in his last life too. Yep, some things never change. But then, a sharp voice cuts through the air. "That's enough, Hong Qiansheng." It's Teacher Huang, and she looks furious. Her face is a mask of pure rage. "This is a school. Are you trying to rob him?" Hong just smirks, waving the stolen money. "Yo, Teacher Huang. He wasn't watching where he was going and ran right into us." He asks, "Shouldn't he buy my friends here some milk tea to apologize?" The nerve of this guy. Then he gets right in her face, his voice dropping low. "Trying to be a hero? If you weren't so good looking, I would have had you kicked out of here ages ago." His goons laugh as he walks off, acting like he's doing her a favor. Meanwhile, Teacher Huang helps the poor kid to his feet. As Hong walks away, his eyes meet Bai Yi's for just a second. The tension is real. "What are you looking at?" Hong sneers, shoving Bai Yi's shoulder as he passes. "Move it." The bullied student apologizes, but the teacher reassures him. Bai Yi just watches them, his expression unreadable. Bai Yi remembers her fondly. She always had a sharp tongue, but deep down she had a heart of gold and really helped him out in his first life. Just then, another teacher shouts, "Teacher Huang, your class is up. It's time to enter the awakening chamber." As they walk, she gives them one last piece of advice. "Remember, when you're in there, stay as sane as possible to avoid getting hurt." Bai Yi thinks about the process. In this world, there are two ways a person can awaken their powers. First, there's natural awakening, which is what happened to Hong. It's for talented people with strong bodies. It happens spontaneously when their emotions go into complete overdrive, triggering their latent power. The other way is the awakening spatial chamber, a miracle of modern science. Inside, it basically force starts the process, cranking your emotions and adrenaline to the max to unlock your potential. A blue aura surrounds one student, and bam, a system window pops up. He's now a core mage. He stumbles out, exhausted but ecstatic. He awakened a Firefly-grade profession. Teacher Huang gives him a nod of approval. Because the whole thing is random and you only get one chance, this is seen as the single most important moment of a person's life. Then, the moment arrives. "Bai Yi, you're next." Teacher Huang gives him a stern look. "You need to get serious. Concentrate, do you understand?" He glances back at her, his golden eyes ice cold. "I know what I'm doing." He remembers his previous life. He awakened as a pathetic E-class core warrior, a total dust-grade loser that got him bullied constantly. It was only after he grinded all the way to S-class that he finally unlocked a truly rare and powerful ability. So as he steps into the swirling energies of the chamber, he can't help but wonder, what will he awaken this time? He starts to sweat as green energy whips around him. The pressure is immense. Suddenly, alarms blare. A massive red warning flashes across the screen. "Awakening system detection error." Bai Yi looks up in total shock as a new message appears, 5 elements detected. He clutches his chest, confused. What is happening? What is this intense heat building inside of him? His eyes glow with overwhelming power as one final game-changing message flashes before him. "Infinite awakening system activated." Boom! The system drops a bombshell. Because Bai Yi has all 5 elements, he gets to choose any class from any element as his starting profession. And it gets even crazier. The system says if he grinds enough elemental power, he can get new random classes or upgrade his current one. Bai Yi is completely floored. Element accumulation? What in the world does that even mean? But then the gears start turning. Not only does he get to pick his first class, he can stack more of them later on. He can pick literally anything he wants. Even the legendary special quality classes are on the table for him. Okay, there's a small catch. The system clarifies that only his first class is a free pick. Everything after that is pure chance. Suddenly, a vision of the Demon King Belsug appears, his voice echoing, "Let me give you another hand." Bai Yi clutches his chest, finally understanding. This insane power is Belsug's gift to him for this second chance at life. The potential of every single class in existence flows right through him. This is the power of the infinite awakening. The system gives him one last warning. After he makes his choice, his element bars reset to 0. He has to make this count. Meanwhile, outside the awakening chamber, a couple of students are getting impatient. Seriously, what's taking him so long in there? Right on cue, the door slides open and Bai Yi walks out looking totally calm and collected. Teacher Huang immediately rushes over, her face beaming with hope. "So, what class did you awaken?" Bai Yi looks down, putting on a super somber expression. "I'm sorry, teacher. I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint you." Then, with a massive smug grin, he makes his announcement. "I'm a nuclear warrior, the worst green quality there is." Still totally confused about this manhwa's class system, to be honest. You can just see the hope drain from Teacher Huang's face. The disappointment is practically radiating off her. "Ah, is that so?" But she quickly puts on a brave face, trying to cheer him up. "It's okay. Many amazing heroes started with green quality. Don't give up. She tells him she knows he must be feeling awful, but the awakening was probably exhausting and he should get some rest. Suddenly, a loud, obnoxious laugh cuts through the air. Are you kidding me? This is hilarious. It's Hong Qiansheng, and he's openly mocking the teacher. As long as you work hard, the world will reward you. Ha! What a joke. Bai Yi just glares. Even he knows that kind of feel-good nonsense is completely useless in this world. Hong turns on the teacher. Come on, teacher. You know better than anyone that reality doesn't work like that. He then gets right up in Bai Yi's face. A dust tier quality means you're nothing. You're at the very bottom. He sneers that, in this world, God only chooses the strong and the weak are just there to be stepped on. But the moment he says the word God, a dangerous glint flashes in Bai Yi's eyes. Oh, he touched a nerve. Teacher Huang tries to intervene, but Hong just smirks. You know the rules. Dust tier trash like him gets sent to the back of the class. Her expression hardens as she asks him exactly why that is. Hong just laughs, saying that's how society works. The weak with no power or connections always get left behind. He says from the second you awaken, your fate is sealed. Weaklings are destined to be nothing more than cannon fodder. He scoffs at the very idea of hard work changing your fate, asking if she actually believes that fairy tale. It's just like being born, he declares. Your future is already set in stone. This school is just a small version of the real world. Then he gets way too close, taunting her directly. Isn't that right? You're only Firefly tier, so you're stuck as a freeloader here. He turns back to Bai Yi. And as for dust tier trash, just go home early and stop wasting government resources. But before a single drop can fall, Bai Yi's hand shoots out like lightning, grabbing Hong's wrist and stopping him cold. Hong is completely frozen. The drink goes flying everywhere, splashing all over his own face instead. He stumbles backward, absolutely furious. You jerk! What do you think you're doing? Bai Yi just calmly wipes a few drops from his cheek, looking completely bored by the whole thing. Hong's face twists into a crazy grin. You are so dead. He lunges forward, his fist crackling with purple energy, screaming that Bai Yi is asking for a beating. He unleashes his Star Assassin class's basic attack, Star's Thorn Thrust. But Bai Yi's eyes just narrow. In a flash of brilliant golden light, he materializes a sword out of thin air. With a loud clang, he effortlessly blocks the punch. Hong's psycho grin completely freezes on his face, replaced by pure, unfiltered disbelief. And before he can even blink, Bai Yi's counter sends him flying backwards. He skids across the pavement like a skipping stone, digging a massive trench in the ground. Hong finally crashes to a halt, tumbling across the ground as everyone watches in total shock. He coughs up a mouthful of blood, his face a mask of pain and utter confusion. How he gasps, staring up at Bai Yi, who's just standing there calmly with his new golden sword. Everyone is just speechless. What just happened? How did a dust tier do that? Bai Yi casually rests the sword on his shoulder. I picked this class myself. Nuclear Warrior comes with a basic light sword, plus 20 attack and plus 20 evasion. And with a confident smirk, he adds, I guess I just got the hang of it. Hong stumbles back to his feet, absolutely raging. Ah, you just got lucky. All you did was dodge. He screams that he's a rare abyss tier on a completely different level from a low-class piece of trash like Bai Yi. But Teacher Huang is watching intently, her eyes wide with realization. No, that wasn't luck. She recognizes that move. He just used a top-tier class-exclusive combat technique. It was a perfect block. A legendary technique that completely nullifies damage and reflects it back at the attacker before they can even react. She remembers her own master couldn't perfect that move even after 10 years of non-stop, brutal training. So how could a kid who just awakened today with zero combat experience possibly pull it off on his first try? But Hong doesn't care. He summons a dagger, his eyes glowing with rage. Are you ready to die? He swears he's going to make this piece of trash get on his knees and beg in front of the entire school. Bai Yi just watches him, thinking to himself, of course I had my reasons for picking this supposedly weakest class. He knows that judging someone's entire future from the moment they awaken is a huge mistake, a mistake this world will pay for years from now. The system then clarifies what a perfect block is. With precise timing, it nullifies 100% of damage and might even reflect it all back. The crowd is buzzing. Are they seriously about to throw down right here? Using awakened powers for a private beef is a huge no-no, especially with the whole school watching. Everyone knows the deal. Hong Qiansheng is a rich kid with powerful connections, while Bai Yi is a literal nobody from a poor family. If Bai Yi even throws a punch, he's getting expelled. Guaranteed. Teacher Huang jumps in, trying to play peacemaker. She tells them they just awakened and could end up as teammates in the future. But Hong is not having any of it. He actually shoves his teacher's hand away, furious that she'd dare to stop him. He declares it's too late for apologies. He's about to teach this peasant the massive, uncrossable gap between their power levels. Teacher Huang realizes the real problem here isn't just attitude. It's the insane difference in their class quality and attribute bonuses. See, Bai Yi's class is dust mode quality. That means his attribute bonus is a flat 100%. In other words, he gets 0 extra stats. A decent class gets a 150% bonus. But Hong? His is Abyss Peak's quality, giving him a ridiculous 200% bonus. That means his stats are literally double what they should be. A gap this huge, right from the start, is supposed to be completely unbeatable. One of the onlookers just shakes his head. It's over before it even began. Bai Yi is outclassed in power, status, and everything else. He's thinking, why would you pick a fight you can't win? Sure, guys like Hong are jerks, but that's just life, right? His philosophy is simple: to survive, you avoid the bullies. And when you can't, you just take the humiliation and move on. Fighting back is the dumbest move you can make. It only leads to an even worse beatdown, or so he thinks. And here we go. Hong activates his skill Brutality, jacking up his strength, crit rate, and even giving him lifesteal. Teacher Huang screams for Bai Yi to be careful, totally panicking as Hong lunges forward. She knows there's no way he can block this. Hong's power and speed are on another level now. Hong is screaming, "Let's see you dodge this one." He thinks he's already won. But check this out. Bai Yi just smirks. Dodge? He says, why would I need to dodge, as his own skill Haste explodes, boosting his speed by over 50%. And it gets better. As Haste hits 100%, it unlocks an advanced skill, Flash Step. Hong's attack slices through empty air. He's completely stunned, wondering where Bai Yi went. He's behind me. In the blink of an eye, Bai Yi is standing right behind him, calm as ever. Hong coughs up a mouthful of blood. He crumples to the ground, totally defeated, and Bai Yi delivers the coldest line ever. Trash belongs in the trash can. The crowd is absolutely speechless. It happens so fast, some of them think Hong just tripped and fell on his face. Not even the teacher could track his movement. 1 second they were facing off, the next Hong was on the ground. But one student, a girl with pink hair, is staring hard. She knows she just witnessed something impossible. She's replaying it in her head. Bai Yi used Haste, which then triggered the advanced skill Flash Step. But how did he land a hit in that split second? She realizes he took down a superior opponent with a single, effortless blow. This is class monitor Chi Yin, and she gets it. He didn't just use a cool skill, he used it with the flawless precision of a master. The rest of the students are just confused, mocking Hong for getting knocked out when it looked like Bai Yi didn't even move. Meanwhile, Bai Yi is checking his notifications. He knows he didn't technically break any rules. Smart. And just as he thought, fighting gives him experience and elemental points. But 50 points? That's way too slow for his plans. But hold on. Hong struggles back to his feet, screaming, "Don't you dare walk away from me." He grabs his dagger and lunges for a sneak attack from behind, roaring, "I'll kill you." Suddenly, a powerful voice cuts through the chaos. That's enough. Hong freezes mid-attack. A man in a suit with an eye patch steps out. It's the director Hong Liang, and he does not look happy. He asks his nephew, "Haven't you embarrassed yourself enough?" Hong stammers, "Uncle," and Bai Yi immediately recognizes the guy. The director dismisses the entire crowd, telling them to go home and tell their families about their new classes. Then his gaze lands on Bai Yi. "And you," he says, his voice dripping with menace. The director suddenly towers over Bai Yi, reminding him that fighting is against the rules. But Bai Yi's mind is elsewhere. A memory hits him like a truck. He's back 20 years, which means something else happened today. He panics, thinking, how could I forget this? He just remembered the single most important detail of this day. Without a second thought, Bai Yi shoves the director aside and takes off running, ignoring his shouts. The director is furious, telling Teacher Huang to get her student under control, but he says he'll let it go, for now. All Teacher Huang can do is bow her head and apologize for her student's insane behavior. Later, in the director's office, Hong is still fuming, making excuses for why he lost so badly. Nonsense. His uncle roars, slamming the desk. "Do you have any idea what that kid just did to you?" He explains that the moment Hong attacked, Bai Yi used the advanced skill Flash Step to instantly reposition. But here's the crazy part. In that same split second, he identified the weakest point on Hong's body and hit it with perfect accuracy, neutralizing him instantly. The director admits that even though they were basic skills, not even he, a 15-year war veteran, could pull off that combo with such perfection. He says it was like watching a pro gamer absolutely dominate a newbie using only the starting moves. This kid, he says, is not simple. Meanwhile, Bai Yi is tearing through the city streets. He's thinking, besides getting my revenge, this is the one thing I absolutely must do. He finally skids to a stop in front of a rundown apartment building, totally out of breath. And then a horrible memory flashes in his mind. A dark figure standing over his beaten and bloody younger self. He shakes it off, his face hardening with determination. He vows, even if it kills me, I have to stop what's about to happen here. The year is 2105. Inside a humble apartment, some dude is just cracking up at the TV. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, a silver-haired woman is calmly washing dishes, completely unfazed by the noise. And right on cue, our boy Bai Yi steps through the door, finally home. His dad glances over, barely interested. "Oh, you're back. Kinda early, aren't you?" But Bai Yi isn't looking at him. His eyes are locked on his mother, seeing her through the kitchen window. His eyes go wide and you can see the tears welling up as he just whispers, "Mom." She turns and her face just lights up with this warm, loving smile. "It's so good to see you're alive and well." She quickly dries her hands, telling him she's already made his favorite dish, hot and sour noodles. But check out Bai Yi's face. His expression hardens. He's got something else in mind. He puts on a smile and says, "Mom, I'm really craving pickled fish today." She's a little confused, suggesting they can have it tomorrow since the noodles are all ready. But he's not taking no for an answer. With a glint in his eye, he insists, "No, I want it today. Let's go right now." She just sighs, totally giving in to her son's weirdly urgent request. "You're impossible," she says with a smile. As she gets ready to leave, Bai Yi immediately offers to go with her. But then, the dad's voice cuts in from the living room. "Your mom can go by herself." He's glaring at Bai Yi now. "What's your problem, kid? You don't even say hi to your own father?" He finally gets up and we see what he's really interested in. "Isn't today the awakening? So tell me the good news." This guy, Bai Lingsheng, is a level 26 C-tier electric warrior. He's already grabbing beers ready to celebrate. But Bai Yi straight up lies to his face. "I missed it. I didn't awaken today." He doubles down, saying the whole process took too long and he never got a chance. You can see the dad's face just drop. "Then why are you home so early?" He snaps. He starts sneering, calling him useless and comparing him to some neighbor's kid who got a trash tier awakening. He puffs out his chest, boasting, "My son should be at least a deep mountain tier. I did it with nothing." He takes a heavy step forward, starting a whole speech about how much he's sacrificed for Bai Yi. Then he gets right in his son's face, demanding, "Tell me, what is your class?" The air goes completely still. You can see Bai Yi trying to hold it together. Bai Yi tries to speak, "I haven't," but he doesn't even get to finish. Because with a roar of pure rage, his father smashes a beer bottle right over his head. Dripping with beer, Bai Yi finally spits out the truth, "Dust tier," and the dad absolutely loses it. "You awaken a useless dust tier class? Are you trying to humiliate me?" But look at Bai Yi. He's completely calm, his expression cold as ice. He's thinking, "This man is an awakener, and he's my father, and he's a violent monster who can't control his temper." And then it hits him. A memory from his past life. He'd almost forgotten what happened on this exact day. The last time this happened, his father found out about his dust tier class and beat him mercilessly for disgracing him. And just like always, his mom threw herself in the way to protect him. Back then, he was just a weak, terrified kid who could do nothing but watch in horror. His father beat his mother for an entire hour, taking out all his pathetic rage on her. That day, she was left with a broken leg and a head injury so bad it messed her up for life. And all he could do was cry, covered in his own mother's blood. Snapping back to the present, Bai Yi is on the floor, soaked in beer. He knows his stats are a total joke right now. A level 1, E-tier nuclear warrior. His father looms over him, screaming at him to get up. His dad, on the other hand, is a C-tier with a massive 400% stat bonus. The gap is insane. And unlike the punk at school, this guy has actual combat experience. Bai Yi has to admit it to himself. "I was wrong. Right now, I can't beat him." As his father screams that he should have never been born, Bai Yi knows this beating won't stop. And that's why he had to get his mom out of the house no matter what it cost him. He braces for the punch, thinking, "At least, I got mom to safety." But then, he hears it. The thud of grocery bags hitting the floor. His head whips up, a look of pure horror on his face. His mother is standing right there in the doorway, frozen in shock. He spots the noodles in the drop bag and realizes with dawning dread why she came back so fast. She had hurried back, thinking she couldn't let her son go hungry, even for a little while. She can barely speak, stammering in disbelief at the scene. Her husband turns, his body crackling with a furious red aura, and he snarls, "Look at the useless trash you gave birth to." We kick things off in a dark prison where a lone inmate in an orange jumpsuit is being questioned by another slightly older inmate. The older inmate is quite impressed. Dude is the first ever green class to evolve, a feat that should be totally impossible for anyone below a blue class A ranker. But wait, this inmate didn't just evolve, he skipped ranks entirely, going straight from the bottom tier green to the legendary platinum gold. The older inmate finally cuts to the chase, asking the million-dollar question, why is a legend like him locked up in a prison reserved for death row inmates? The prisoner, an older version of our hero Bai Yi, just looks down. His response is chilling. He deserved to die. Suddenly, his eyes flash with pure fury as a painful memory comes flooding back. His voice trembles with rage as he remembers the day his own father beat his mother to death. Alright, we head back to our current timeline. Young Bai Yi is covered in noodle soup, staring daggers at his abusive father. Without any warning, the monster of a dad turns his rage on his own wife. He unleashes a devastating punch, sending her flying clear across the room like a rag doll. Bai Yi knows this is bad. As an awakener, his father is on a completely different level of strength than a normal person. Lying on the floor and bleeding from the mouth, he realizes an ordinary person would have been killed instantly by a blow like that. His mother screams in terror and rushes to his side, desperately trying to help him. She can only look on in absolute horror as blood pours from her son's face. And the father, Bai Lingsheng, he just smirks. This is truly awful, he says with a grin. He then launches into a twisted monologue saying how happy he was when he found out she was pregnant with his son. He saw it as his one chance to finally turn his own fortunes around in the Bai family. He gloats about how he, unlike the other brats, could produce a son to carry on the family name. He screams that the entire family's honor was riding on him, but then his expression darkens. But why? He screams. He absolutely explodes. Furious that his son awakened as the weakest green class, he calls him a good-for-nothing and blames his wife's trash genes for it all. He raises his fist, this time aiming for his terrified wife. But in a flash of green light, Bai Yi activates his skill, Flash Step. He instantly appears between his parents, ready to intercept. He stands his ground, blocking his father's fist with a newly summoned golden sword. Where did that come from? Bloodied but defiant, his warning is ice cold. Don't touch her. His dad is stunned for a half second, but then a twisted grin spreads across his face. Interesting. He cracks his neck and sneers. Grew up, did we? Very good indeed. Bai Yi knows he can't win this fight. His only goal right now is to stall for time. He braces himself for the next attack, preparing to meet it head-on. The system kicks in, activating his parry skill. This gives him a chance to completely nullify and even reflect the damage back, but his father's power is just too overwhelming. The old man yells armor break and completely shatters Bai Yi's defense. The punch lands and the force rips right through him. The difference in their strength is just insane. I mean, his dad is a level 26 C-rank warrior with a 400% stat bonus. The impact feels like it just broke every single rib in Bai Yi's body. Disobeying your esteemed father, are we? Bai Lingsheng roars, activating his next skill, Heavy Black Thunder. This adds a nasty shock effect to his attacks. As his mother watches in absolute terror, the monster prepares to strike again. With a manic grin, he taunts his son, declaring that he is so powerful he won't even bother to dodge. You've got some backbone, he scoffs, but a weak class like yours just deserves to be beaten to death. But despite the pain, Bai Yi's resolve only hardens. He thinks, in this life, I won't let any tragedy repeat itself. This just enrages his father even more, who grabs a metal chair. Think you're special just because you awakened. I'll teach you who your daddy is. But just as he's about to bring it down, a loud, insistent knocking echoes from the front door. Bai Lingsheng freezes, absolutely furious. Darn it, who's here to ruin the fun? But Bai Yi knows exactly who it is. They're here. He storms over to the door, yelling, who is it? He yanks the door open and finds two men from the inspection team. We've got Deputy Captain Liang, a powerful A-ranker, and Inspector Chen Jinwu, a C-rank. Bai Lingsheng's face instantly goes pale. Deputy Captain, why are you here? He stammers. Liang explains they're investigating a report about a highly dangerous fugitive named Snow who was spotted in the area. Bai Lingsheng immediately puts on a fake friendly act. He starts laughing and promises he will report anything suspicious he sees. But Liang's eyes are not on him. They lock onto the injured Bai Yi in the background. Wait, he says, pointing. What happened to your boy? Thinking fast, Bai Lingsheng spins a terrible lie, claiming his son is just clumsy and fell down while buying groceries. From behind his father, Bai Yi's eyes narrow. No, he declares, he hit me. And you can see it on his father's face. His expression darkens. Oh, you're so dead now, buddy. And would you look at that? This whole beatdown was part of Bai Yi's master plan. We flash back 18 minutes ago, where he's already snitching. He calls in a fake tip about seeing the fugitive Snow just to get the cops here. He did not think they would be this quick, but hey, it works. Back in the present, Dad of the Year tries to play it cool. He tells the inspector it is all a big joke, asking who would ever hit their own son. This guy, that is who. But Bai Yi is having none of it. He starts listing his injuries like a grocery list. A stool to the arm, a bottle to the head, a fist here, and a kick there. Then he stares the inspector down and says, my injuries can be assessed for severity right now. This kid then starts quoting the law, saying any dangerous awakened gets locked up for 15 days. Cold as ice, this one. The inspectors are just floored. You can see them thinking, this kid did his homework. Meanwhile, his dad is about to pop a blood vessel. The pure rage on his face is just priceless. Inspector Liang steps up. All business. Bai Lingsheng, I am now lawfully arresting you. Bam. Justice served. And the dad just completely loses it. He is screaming and thrashing around like a wild animal while being restrained. As they drag him away, he screams the classic villain line, Bai Yi, you just wait. The door slams shut, and just like that, it is quiet, leaving Bai Yi alone with his poor, terrified mom. He turns to her and for the first time his expression softens. He just says, "Mom." She rushes over, hugging him and crying her eyes out. He holds her close and whispers, "Mom, it is okay now." He thinks to himself, "I protected you this time." He knows he has only bought himself 15 days until his dad gets out. He tells her this is the last time it will happen. He has got a 15-day window to start his power-up montage. He clenches his bloody fist thinking this beatdown was all part of the plan, because during that whole mess he managed to snag the key to his father's safe. Sneaky little guy. This is not just any key. It unlocks the very thing his dad betrayed his friends for, the secret that boosted him from a nobody E-class to a C-class. He goes straight to his dad's room and opens a hidden safe. This is some sweet intel he only found out after his dad died in his past life. And what is inside? A seriously cool-looking blade. He figures with this thing he might actually be able to solo a demon's den. But here is the catch. Demon dens are the only way to level up, and they are all controlled by God and the big guilds. So he has got two choices. The lame school dungeons, or the secret one he knows about from his past life. Guess which one he is picking. He shows up at a busted old building, the entrance to the hidden den. The stats are all question marks. This could be a total disaster, but our boy is determined. He's going all in to get that sweet, sweet power boost. Meanwhile, over at the inspector's office, the cops are chatting about that fake tip. They know they can't let their guard down, especially with a big-shot fugitive named Snows on the loose. One of the inspectors, Chen Jinwoo, tries to start some office gossip, but Liang shuts that down real quick. Suddenly, Dad of the Year starts begging. When that does not work, he tries to bribe the inspector with a deal for his pregnant wife. Classy. Liang is just disgusted. He asks the guy how he fell so far from being a guild member to this pathetic mess. As they walk away, Chen Jinwoo cheerfully tells him that trying to bribe a cop is a big no-no, so he is getting a one-way ticket to the awakened prison. Left all alone, the dad is radiating pure hatred, hissing his son's name. This is not over. Bai Yi knows the clock is ticking. 15 days. The Demon Den is his only shot at getting strong enough to handle what is coming. So get this. Demon Dens are basically portals to other dimensions. Once found, guilds snatch them up for all the valuable loot inside. They are the best spot for grinding experience, but they are super dangerous. You are supposed to go in with a full party. But this one is special. In his past life, nobody found it for 5 years. By then, it was so overgrown it caused a demon invasion. He is betting it is a low-level F-rank dungeon right now, which is about all he can handle. But there is a 10% chance he is totally wrong. He steps up to the entrance, which looks like some kind of pulsating, fleshy gateway. Gross, but this is it. He knows the rulebook says to bring a balanced team, but our boy is going in solo. He has no choice. He needs to power level, and he needs to do it now. With a deep breath, he dives right in. A system window pops up showing his stats. Level 1 E rank. My friend, his stats are absolutely pathetic. He lands in a giant ice cave. It is freezing cold, which means one thing. Ice monsters. He sees some human bones scattered around, which is never a good sign. Then he spots a giant sleeping icefield bear, an E-rank beast. And just like that, the bear wakes up and lunges. Welp, looks like he hit that 10% chance. This is an E-rank den. As if one giant bear was not enough, a bloodthirsty forest wolf ambushes him from the side. Another E-rank monster. He is so out-leveled. The wolf goes for the kill, its fangs bared, ready to turn our boy into a chew toy. But Bai Yi is surprisingly quick. He dodges over the attack, his new blade at the ready. He sidesteps like a pro, slipping right past those chompers. That was way too close. And then a flash of gold. One clean slash and the beast is down. Phew. He owes it all to his new toy, the A-rank Kunwu blade. This thing is a total game changer, giving him a massive stat boost. Even with an overpowered sword, these monsters are tough. He is already sighing about how much easier this was in his past life as a top-tier warrior. He gets a little experience and 50 elemental points for the kill, but leveling up is going to be a long, painful grind. Suddenly, barking echoes through the cave. Bai Yi whips around, instantly on guard. Oh, fantastic. The wolf he just killed brought the whole family, and they are led by an E-level bloodthirsty wolf king. It looks like the smell of blood from that first kill was basically a dinner bell for the entire pack. He is totally surrounded. This is definitely not the solo adventure he was hoping for. How is he getting out of this one? Alright, so Bai Yi is swarmed by an entire wolf pack. But does he panic? Nope. He immediately lands a critical hit on the first unlucky doggo that lunges. He flawlessly dodges the next two, weaving between their snapping jaws like he's in the Matrix or something. And bam! In the same motion, he spins around for a slick counter, slicing deep into another wolf. What a show-off. My guy is a blur of motion, just spamming his dodge and counter combo. This is some peak swordplay right here, folks. With ice in his veins, he lines up his next move. It's time to finish this. One last hit. He leaps into the air and goes full Beyblade, becoming a whirlwind of golden light that just shreds the entire pack. One by one, the wolves drop, and you know what that means. The sweet, sweet sound of the system flooding him with experience points. He sticks the landing. Mission accomplished on the regular mobs. Time to collect that sweet, sweet loot. But wait, the party's not over. The D-rank Wolf King is still standing, and hoo boy, it looks absolutely furious. The king lets out a mighty roar, but Bai Yi is already on it, his blade a blur of gold. He is not impressed. And just like that, the pack leader is down. Check it out, he even got a rare wolf diamond for his trouble. He's thinking, yeah, with this much progress I should hit D-rank in no time. And speak of the devil. The system dings, announcing his level up. He gets a fresh 12 stat points to play with. Phew, he finally takes a breath. Apparently, wiping out 20 wolves left him winded. Man, this E-rank body is seriously nerfed. He also hits that classic RPG problem of not enough inventory space. He needs a dimensional backpack or he'll have to start leaving good loot on the ground. He stares at the Snow Wolf diamond and starts thinking. Guilds pretty much monopolize all the good farming spots, making life tough for solo players. For most people, the only real path to success is to join a guild straight out of the Awakener school. It's the standard career path. This hits close to home. He's reminded of his own father who got booted from his guild and was hard stuck at C rank for life. But grinding solo is way too slow, and this freezing cave is draining his stamina bar fast. He's got to get creative. Then he spots another pack of wolves, and you can practically see the light bulb appear over his head. He's got an idea. So he just bolts, intentionally leading the entire pack on a wild goose chase through the forest. A classic kiting strategy. See, his goal is not to fight them one-on-one. Oh no, it is to attract even more attention. This guy's insane, and it works. The commotion draws out a massive cloud python. Things are about to get real interesting. The wolves immediately switch aggro to the new threat. His 500 IQ plan is coming together perfectly. He finally stops, turning to face the absolute mess he's just created. Look at that confident smirk. My dude has gathered an entire army of demonic beasts. We are talking wolves, pythons, and even dragons, all in one spot. And just as he planned, a massive explosion erupts in the distance. Yep, the real target has finally woken up. The whole ground starts to shake and crack, and a colossal B-level tundra bear bursts straight from the ice. Well, hello there, and it is in a furious state, which is game speak for it's going to attack anything that moves, including all those monsters. The bear immediately goes on a rampage, just smashing all the other monsters Bai Yi so kindly gathered for it. So with the bear causing all this chaos, all our boy has to do is hang back, dodge, and pick off the stragglers. Work smarter, not harder. He just weaves through the battle, kill-stealing all the weakened enemies and racking up that sweet XP and loot. Ding! He levels up again, hitting level 4. This bear is basically power leveling him for free. What a Chad. But to get the real prize, the big XP jackpot, he has to be the one to land the final blow on the bear itself. Even with the bear doing most of the work, this massive battle has left him completely exhausted. Seriously, his stamina stat must be in the negatives. But it's not over yet, my friends. It is time for phase 2 of his ridiculously complicated plan. The leftover monsters, including the big guy, start closing in. The whole den is starting to feel unstable from all the damage. And that is when this sinister look crosses his face. Because, surprise, cracks are starting to form in the ice right under his enemies. He slams his sword into the ice and yells, "Then go down." And here's the ace up his sleeve. They were not on a frozen lake. They were on a fragile ice bridge between two massive canyons this whole time. The entire horde of monsters just plummets into the abyss. And the kill notifications, they start rolling in non-stop. It is beautiful. Boom! He is instantly boosted all the way to level 7, surrounded by a literal rain of loot. Talk about an efficient grind. Okay, so most of the mobs are dealt with. Only a few survivors remain, including our big, angry, furry friend. He is running on fumes at this point, but he figures it should be just enough to finish the job. This has to be the fastest way to level up, right? His genius plan even earns him the title 1 against 100, which boosts all his stats. Nice. But as he looks around the now empty den, a thought hits him. Wait a minute, every den has a final boss. He was expecting something like a brutal Lion King, but after all that chaos, nothing showed up. Why is that? Why hasn't the final boss appeared yet? As the remaining monsters attack, the air starts to crackle around him. Bai Yi just stares in shock. He realizes he has made a terrible, terrible mistake. He's caught right in the blast, a wave of freezing energy completely swallowing him whole. Turns out, the final boss was not knocked out or sleeping. It was just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It waited for Bai Yi's guard to be down for the exact moment he was most vulnerable. That is a tactical genius boss here, and he just checkmated our MC. Then just like that, a tidal wave of ice erupts from the ground, flash freezing our boy solid. He gets it now. The ice bridge was not just terrain, it was a trap set by the boss who was waiting until his strength was gone to attack. He cannot believe it. An intelligent boss monster hiding in a low-level cave? That is completely unheard of. Plot twist. The bear was not even the real leader. The real boss steps out of the shadows, a level 11 D-rank cave lord with 2 giant demonic ape bodyguards. Still partially covered in ice, Bai Yi slowly turns, his eyes widening at the sight of the true enemy. The cave lord gives him this wicked grin. Bai Yi can't move, he's frozen solid. And of course, the system pops up to rub salt in the wound. This is a hidden demon cave. Danger level, high. Recommended party size, 8. And he is all alone. Perfect. Alright, so our boy Bai Yi is in a bit of a pickle. He's cornered deep inside some F-rank demon lair by a brand new cave lord and his ape goons. And by pickle, I mean he's literally a human popsicle. The dude is completely frozen and his body heat is dropping faster than meme coins during a crash. The cave lord, looking like a proper villain, reaches out a clawed hand, probably to poke the Bai Yi sickle and see if he's done. No, wait. He was actually commanding a minion to attack. The monster leaps forward, ready to smash our frozen hero into a million pieces. Bai Yi knows he's only got one choice now. The ape swings for the fences, boom. But now the cave lord looks shook. He's just staring like, dude, you're supposed to be dead now. Well, Bai Yi used his block ability to execute a perfectly timed block that can reflect physical damage. Knowing this is his one and only option, Bai Yi poured every last drop of energy into that one big move to break free. He's betting his entire life on the fact that the monster should have a cooldown period after such a fancy attack. So the plan is to take the boss down before he can reload. Easy peasy, right? But the cave lord just scoffs. With another wave of his hand, he sends Tundra Bear to attack next. Watching this monster-on-monster brawl, Bai Yi just steels himself. He knows the party isn't over yet. He glares at this B-rank Tundra Bear and, with all the confidence of a man about to die, shouts, "Come and kill me." He's totally running on empty too. He's thinking that just taking down the other 2 apes is going to be a struggle. And it's not just them. He's literally surrounded. We've got a D-rank cave lord, an E-rank bear, and a whole army of apes and wolves. This is not looking good. Against these odds, his chances of winning are, let's see, carry the 1. Yep, exactly 0. Nada. Zilch. The ape swings its giant club and Bai Yi is immediately pushed back by the sheer force. He's barely hanging on. Then another ape joins in for a good old-fashioned beatdown. At this point, Bai Yi is just a glorified punching bag. And he's down. He falls to one knee, completely out of gas. Can't even muster the strength to stand up. Seeing its chance, the Tundra Bear charges in for the final blow. This is it, folks. The end of our hero. He grits his teeth as the bear swats him away like a pesky housefly. Our MC manages to land on his feet. This whole icy stage is a massive debuff. The cold is draining his stamina like crazy, but the real problem is the cave lord, just chilling in the back, cackling as green energy swirls around him. You know that's never a good sign. And yup, there it is. He unleashes another insane spell. Ice Storm Raid. Bam. Bai Yi is floored. He's screaming internally. His skill cooldown is this fast. I guess you bet wrong, my guy. Then we get a classic flashback. He remembers his past life, where facing impossible odds taught him to spot opportunities even in certain death. So he does the math. Option 1, stay and fight. With 0 stamina, his chance of survival is, well, we already established it's 0. So, with the power of deduction, he chooses option 2. And option 2 is, run away. He uses Flash Step to book it, and just yeets himself right off the edge of a cliff. The Ice Lord almost has him, but he manages to break free and plunges down into the darkness. The monsters just stand there at the edge, completely dumbfounded, watching their dinner escape into the darkness. So close, yet so far. Meanwhile, we cut back to his home. His mom opens his bedroom door, ready to wake him up. But when she looks inside, her face just drops. Total shock. The bed is empty. All our boy left behind was a folded note. A classic runaway kid move. She's totally confused. Why leave a dramatic note just to go to a friend's house? Something feels very wrong here. She realizes that ever since he got back yesterday, he's been acting like a completely different person. The warning bells are ringing. Alright, we zoom back to the icy demon pit. We see the aftermath of Bai Yi's grand escape. A little backstory here, folks. When the ice bridge broke earlier, Bai Yi clocked that about 100 monsters took the plunge. But when the level up notifications came in, he only leveled up 3 times. He does some quick math and realizes that not all the monsters died. Around 40 must have survived that fall from the ice bridge. He's clawing his way out of the freezing water. This guy is a cockroach. Or just really, really smart. We see a flashback of his big brain play. His one desperate theory why so many monsters survived was there must be a river at the bottom of the cliff. With that in mind, he breaks free and crashes into the water below. It was a total Hail Mary, and it actually worked. But that little stunt cost him everything. He drags himself onto the shore and collapses, completely spent. The system notifications are not looking good. On top of being exhausted, the fall wrecked his body. He can barely move, wondering if this is finally it. Has he reached his limit? Our boy Bai Yi is not having a good day. He's face down in the snow, freezing, bleeding out, and basically turning into a human popsicle. And just when you think it can't get any worse, a monstrous E-grade fierce beast shows up. It's a massive crystal wolf, and it looks hungry. As his consciousness starts to fade, you know what that means, folks. It's time for the classic deathbed flashback montage. First, a memory of his friend Lu Shan, offering him a drink and complaining that he never comes around anymore. A classic guilt trip. Then he sees the smiling face of Bao Le, playfully demanding a hug. Oh, how sweet. Next up is a young Han Xiaolin, whispering about sneaking out to eat some fancy foie gras. These guys had priorities. Another old buddy appears, asking for his help with some data analysis. Even in his dying moments, he can't escape work. And finally, he sees his mother, her face full of worry as she asks about a wound on his head. Now that one stings. But the wholesome memories are shattered by a flash of his enemies, starting with the menacing cave lord. Then comes his own father's hateful face, literally telling him to go to heck. What a great dad. The highlight reel of his past life's traitors flashes by, all of them sharing the same warm sentiment. The pain of all his failures hits him at once. That feeling of being completely and utterly destroyed. But this isn't his first rodeo. He thinks, I will have no limits. This time he refuses to accept failure. He's not about to let his past regrets define him again. He gets up and faces the beast head-on. With his eyes burning gold like a true protagonist, he swears he won't let those tragedies happen again. He screams, I've lost once, and I've also died once already. He's channeling all that main character rage and pain. And with that, he unleashes a furious counterattack. He is not dying here. His blade connects, and boom, the beast explodes into a shower of ice and gore. The force of the explosion sends him sliding, but he pulls off a perfect hero landing, sword planted in the ice. He takes a deep breath and a golden aura suddenly begins to swirl powerfully around his body. And it seems this was his genius plan all along. Only a near-death experience can trigger an advancement. Soloing a demon cave, baiting monsters, jumping off cliffs. This was his plan to push himself to his limits. And he's not done yet. He turns to face an entire pack of wolves and another giant ice beast. My dude really loves grinding. So why is he constantly throwing himself into these insane situations? Well, it's for one simple reason. He's chasing that feeling from his past life. That rush of adrenaline you can only get when your life is on the line. And he can feel it happening right now. The system chimes in, announcing that a class advancement has been triggered. But the system glitches and delivers the bad news. Class advancement failed. You gotta love a good fake-out. However, it's not a total loss. He gets a pretty sweet consolation prize, an advanced skill from the Holy Swordsman class. Bai Yi smirks. So he didn't get a full class change, but he unlocked an ultimate skill way ahead of schedule. Our boy is cheesing the system. His sword begins to glow with immense power. Now, he says, it's time to clean you all up. The last big beast roars, charging him one last time. But with his new power-up, Bai Yi is more than ready. He prepares to unleash his brand new skill. One strike. Pure land. Whoosh. A massive wave of golden energy erupts, completely engulfing all the monsters around him. And just like that, the battlefield goes silent. A massive flood of system notifications floods his screen. He's leveled up, gotten a ton of loot, and his new skill has completely restored his stamina. Now that's what I call a power-up. On top of all that, he's earned the title Icefield Wanderers and officially learned his new ultimate skill. With all the small fry dealt with, he turns his attention back to the main threat. Next, I'll go back and deal with you. The last of the kill notifications pop up, and ding, he officially hits level 9. He can feel the difference immediately. His new title grants him cold resistance, so he barely feels the freezing air anymore. His new ultimate is also ridiculously overpowered. It stores all the damage he takes and releases it in one massive burst, healing him completely. Realizing how long he's been gone, he knows he needs to finish this quick. An OP hero still has to worry about his mom. He finally reaches his destination, a solitary traditional building sitting in the middle of this frozen wasteland. Inside, the hall is lined with the massive skulls of defeated beasts, and sitting calmly at the end is the cave lord. The monkey-like demon king looks up, its single red eye glaring with a cold, calculating intelligence. The entire chamber explodes as Bai Yi makes his grand entrance. Bai Yi emerges, having just hit level 10, the absolute peak for an E rank. He looks at his true foe and says, "We meet again." Meanwhile, back at home, it's 11 p.m. Bai Yi's mom is starting to get seriously worried about where her son could be. She's been pacing for hours, and the dinner she made is now ice cold. You can just feel the anxiety, folks. But Bai Yi can't exactly call home right now. He's got the final boss, the Cave Lord, giving him the stink eye from his throne. Suddenly, boom! An ice explosion rocks the cave and one of the big ape minions lands with a heavy thud. Hold on. Remember that Tundra Bear we all thought was squished under a pile of rocks? Yeah, it's starting to move. And with a massive roar, it pushes itself up. It's not only alive, but it brought a whole crew of angry ape buddies with it. Just kidding. In the time it took to stand up, Bai Yi already turned it into a furry rug. He's standing on its corpse with a smug little smirk. The entire battlefield is just a frozen graveyard of monsters. Our boy has clearly been busy grinding for experience points. The Cave Lord watches this whole display from his icy throne, looking completely unimpressed. Classic final boss energy. He gives a lazy little finger flick, sending one of his Azure Forest demonic apes to attack. He won't even get his own hands dirty. This beast comes charging in, ready to turn our boy into a chew toy. But check out Bai Yi's eyes. That intense glow means he's about to do something absolutely ridiculous. And just like that, one clean slash, the ape is literally in two pieces. Cha-ching, another 70 experience points. Okay, now the Cave Lord looks surprised. He's probably thinking this human is using cheat codes. Alright, playtime is over. The boss finally gets off his throne, his staff crackling with some serious blue energy. He slams it down and unleashes an ice storm assault. The whole area gets blasted with a freezing blizzard. And it does absolutely nothing. The system literally pops up with a big fat immune notification. How embarrassing for the boss. Turns out his cloud-type resistance completely nerfed that attack. Bai Yi just strolls right through it, heading for the shocked Cave Lord. The boss starts to panic and whips up a giant ice crystal, chucking it right at him. But Bai Yi's got a new toy. He activates Instant Flash, basically a teleport dodge. This is it, folks, the ticket to D rank. He vanishes in a blur and reappears right behind the boss. Bam! A critical hit lands perfectly. The Cave Lord lets out a roar of pure agony, stumbling back with a huge gash across his chest. You can practically see the moment it sinks in. He realizes messing with this puny human was a huge mistake. And Bai Yi just stares him down, face splattered with blood. Ice cold. He just says one word. Goodbye. Then he unleashes a flurry of golden slashes, turning the boss into a monster smoothie. It's over. System notifications go wild. Kill confirmed, 1,000 experience points, and a promotion to D-class nuclear fighter. Let's go. That is a massive power-up. We're talking a 100% boost to all stats plus 12 new attribute points to spend. But wait, there's more. Another alert pops up. He's collected enough cloud energy to unlock a whole new profession. My man was so focused on the grind he completely forgot he has that special 5-element affinity. Classic Bai Yi. His body lights up, and boom. He's now a level 1 E-grade cloud mage, and he can just swap classes whenever he wants? That's broken. And it's a red tier profession. The 200% bonus makes this E-rank class almost as strong as his new D-rank warrior class. The stats are insane. Time for the best part, the loot. He finds a D-grade magic bag, a classic inventory upgrade that holds up to 20 items. While he's busy looting, the leftover ape minions are just standing there with question marks over their heads. Their boss just got deleted. Bai Yi gets this absolutely evil grin on his face. Well, since you're all just standing around, looks like there are still some experience points left to farm. He swaps to his new Cloud Mage mode. Time to test out the new build on these poor, confused monkeys. Cut to hours later, 5 a.m. His poor mom fell asleep on the couch, having waited up for him all night long. The quiet click of the front door finally opening startles her awake. She jumps up, her face just a storm of shock, worry, and overwhelming relief. And there's Bai Yi in the doorway, holding a bag. He immediately apologizes for making her wait. He doesn't waste a second, rushing over and pulling her into a huge, warm hug. She just breaks down crying on his shoulder, heartbroken that he's been out all night and hasn't even eaten. But Bai Yi pulls back and gives her this warm, reassuring smile. "Mom," he says, "I have an idea. You want to hear it?" But our boy pulls back with a smile and drops a bombshell. He's like, "Let's ditch this place. Move away from him forever. And how are they going to pay for this grand escape?" With a glowing bag full of monster cores he's been grinding for. It's like his personal crypto wallet. So Bai Yi finds the shadiest looking merchant he can to sell his loot. This guy just screams trustworthy businessman. The merchant offers a measly 800 per diamond. But Bai Yi, cool as a cucumber, just asks for 8,000. The merchant absolutely loses it, screaming that the price is insane. Bai Yi's response? He just threatens to walk. Total power move. This negotiation is hilarious. The merchant yells 2,000, so Bai Yi raises the price to 5,000, then 6, then 7. The dude's brain is short-circuiting. And thanks to his past life knowledge, Bai Yi walks away with a fat sack of cash, leaving the merchant fuming. Get wrecked, sunglasses guy. He clutches that money, thinking this is it. He can finally give his mom the life she deserves. He remembers she never had one single good day in his last life. This time, he's gonna make sure she's living in luxury. And boom, the deal is done. 15,000 a month with fees waived, and they've got a brand new home. Later that night, Bai Yi just watches his mom humming and cooking. She actually has a real smile on her face for once. It's kinda wholesome. Our boy takes a moment to check his stats. Housing? Check. Leveled up to D rank? Check. New profession? Double check. But he can't get too comfortable. He knows as long as dear old dad is in prison, the threat is still out there. But before he can get to his revenge plot, he has to go back to school. Ugh. At least he crafts a new D-rank demon stone for a nice little power boost. And with this new power, he can finally go looking for that thing. Cue the mysterious drumroll. Meanwhile, we cut to a familiar face. Hong Qian-sheng is back and he's grinding hard, surrounded by his usual posse of yes men. Some girl offers him a drink, telling him to take a break, but my man is not interested in rest days. He just blows right past her, announcing he's off to the next demon lair for more training. This guy's got zero chill. Poof. A red aura surrounds him as he hits level 3 Galaxy Assassin. He smirks, vowing to show everyone who the real genius is. And elsewhere again, a mysterious woman is looking over the city, checking out a list of the newly awakened. She's pretty disappointed though. Not a single golden tier profession in the bunch. Looks like the upcoming test is going to be a total snooze fest. The next morning, we're back to our wholesome duo. A huge breakfast is laid out in their new place. Bai Yi's mom is just sitting there, smiling with her eyes closed, completely at peace. It's adorable. Then Bai Yi rushes in, stuffing his face and freaking out about being late for school. Why didn't you wake me up? She's just like, you were sleeping so soundly I didn't want to wake you, and ruffles his hair. Mom of the year right here. And he smiles, realizing it's been forever since he slept that well or even had a real breakfast with her. Then out of nowhere, his mom grabs his collar and he's totally startled. Mom, what is going on? She just smiles and asks what he wants as a gift. Bai Yi is completely confused by this 180-degree turn. Then she points to the calendar, reminding him that next Friday is his birthday. Bai Yi just freezes. June 5th, his birthday. Oh, he totally forgot. In his past life after his mom died, nobody ever celebrated his birthday again. Oof, right in the feels. He thinks about what he could possibly want, wiping his mouth after a big bite of food. Then he looks at his mom, smiling and happy, and realizes he's already got it. He's won. But that peaceful moment quickly hardens into cold determination. Now, it's time for his next goal. His eyes start glowing with pure killing intent. He's got to kill him. And we get a flash of that masked traitor from his past life. You know, the guy who ruined everything. Back at the Awakener school, some coach is yelling at the students. The weekend is over, time to face the hellscape that is simulated actual combat. He reminds them their school is affiliated with the big shot Defying Guild. They're all being observed and this whole event is going to be broadcasted live. No pressure, kids. But wait, there's more. The top student gets to join the high schoolers on a journey of cultivation. The entire crowd just gasps. This journey of cultivation is a legendary event, their one-way ticket to getting noticed by the guild. Bai Yi's eyes narrow. Xingguo, that's the headquarters of the Gods Guild. That's where he met his master. And that scumbag traitor. So, his path is crystal clear. He has to absolutely dominate this assessment to get on that journey. It's the fastest way to find his target. Meanwhile, the other students are losing their minds, all hyped up and terrified about fighting in a real demon's den on Friday. The coach officially kicks off the training. First up on the schedule, the gravity room. Everyone has to do 10 sets of shuttle runs, but of course, there's always that one kid who yells he's gonna do 20. Settle down, champ. But as everyone else files in, Bai Yi hangs back. He walks right up to the coach and says, "Teacher, I don't want to use this training room." As the students shuffle towards the gym, our boy Bai Yi decides it's the perfect time to cause a scene, stopping the instructor dead in his tracks. And just like that, the entire class hits the brakes. Everyone, including the class monitor Chi Yin, turns around completely bewildered by this sudden power move. The teacher scoffs, immediately bringing up Bai Yi's recent victory. He basically warns him not to let one win against a rare quality profession go to his head. But Bai Yi, ever the smooth talker, clarifies he isn't trying to skip. Oh no, he just wants to do some specialized training. How fancy. Uh-oh. The instructor's face darkens. Are you saying there's a problem with my methods? You've activated his trap card, Bai Yi. Bai Yi calmly lays out his argument like a pro, explaining that shuttle runs are great if you're a warrior or an assassin who needs to be quick on their feet. He continues his lecture, pointing out that mages and enchanters would be better off in the element room. Not everyone has the same stats, so why is the training the same? Okay, now the teacher is genuinely ticked off. Are you trying to teach me how to do my job, kid? The menacing aura is getting pretty thick, folks. Watching from the side, Chi Yin is having a mind-blown moment. She realizes Bai Yi is spouting a cutting-edge training theory from a top officer in the Divine Corps. Another student, a nervous kid in overalls and glasses, whispers for Bai Yi to chill out. I mean, he is mouthing off to the school's most respected trainer. The trainer slams a heavy hand on Bai Yi's shoulder. The nervous kid flinches, probably expecting to see our protagonist get turned into a pancake. But wait, instead of pure rage, the instructor's face splits into a massive grin. He's actually impressed, admitting the idea sounds pretty good. The boy with glasses lets out a huge sigh of relief. The trainer even acknowledges that he was the one not being considerate enough. What a guy. He explains the immense pressure he's under. The next combat simulation is their graduation performance, and one bad call from him could ruin a student's whole life. Bai Yi takes a moment to reflect. He realizes good teachers in his past life were the only reason he didn't become a complete menace to society. He turns to the teacher with that classic protagonist confidence. "Teacher, trust me, I won't let you down in this performance." Intrigued, the instructor crosses his arms. "All right then, what's the plan?" Bai Yi points to another room. "Can you turn the elemental suppression to its maximum setting?" The entire class collectively short circuits. A warrior wants to use the element room, a place designed for mages, on the hardest difficulty. Is he crazy? He can't just tell them he's secretly a mage, so he puts on a big show. He declares he's a warrior who wants to challenge his weaknesses. Yeah, right. Suddenly inspired, Chi Yin raises her hand to join him. The poor teacher is so over it. He just tells them to do whatever as long as they don't embarrass him. Chi Yin suggests they train together, but Bai Yi shuts her down completely, saying he's going into a private room. Ouch, that's cold. She is absolutely stunned. Did you just reject me? His response is a simple, brutal yes. As the two head into their separate rooms, the kid with glasses watches. He immediately thinks about slacking off, but the instructor grabs him. Not today, buddy. The trainer hits him with a firm no. Inside the element room, Bai Yi starts his real training. He's a max-level warrior, but a total noob as a mage. It's time to grind some serious EXP. He knows he has to keep his multi-class ability a secret. This school is under the gods' watchful eyes, and if he reveals his trump card too early, he's toast. Meanwhile, in her room, Chi Yin trains with a mere 1% suppression, vowing not to be left behind. Smart move for Bai Yi to keep his distance. After school, as Bai Yi hops on his bike to leave, two voices call out his name. Oh look, it's the welcoming committee. It's his two best friends from his past life. He remembers them as fellow outcasts, the three of them always getting bullied together after class. A flashback shows them laughing about their awful grades. It was his one and only happy memory from back then. Oh, that's kinda sad. But this is his revenge tour life, and he thinks useless social stuff will just slow him down. So edgy. His friends watch him ride off, totally confused. The boy with glasses points out that Bai Yi seems way stronger and more confident now. The kid with glasses gets all gloomy, thinking, why would a guy on a bike wait for someone who's walking? My friend, it's not that deep. Just then, he looks up, and Bai Yi has stopped. He's waiting down the road. Hey, Specs, Bai Yi calls out. Then he drops this super random serious piece of advice. You need to get your lungs checked when you have time. The other friend is ecstatic, thinking Bai Yi waited for them. But our boy deadpans, no, you can't keep up with me, and rides off again. Absolutely savage. The friend in the hoodie starts raging about shuttle runs, while Specs calmly points out he only did 6 sets. The classic duo dynamic. As Bai Yi rides away, a small smile appears. He remembers that in his past life, Specs was diagnosed with a fatal lung disease. He was trying to save his friend's life. His other friend calls him a cold jerk, but Specs just smiles. He can tell that even though Bai Yi has changed, deep down he's still the same guy. Alright, we zoom into another part of the world at the Shenhe Nation's training ground, which looks more like a 5-star beach resort. Must be nice. This chill dude, Mr. Dongyang, is talking about some hotshot recruit who's been smashing all the records. He looks at the guy in front of him and goes, so you're the one, huh? The dude with dreadlocks plays it cool. He's all, you flatter me, sir, just here to report. Total pro move. Alright. Scene change. Later that night, our boy Bai Yi is having a nice, quiet dinner with his mom. He tells her not to go out alone anymore, promising to get home early and do the shopping himself. Mom seems happy, but Bai Yi is already in full protagonist angst mode. He's thinking, this isn't enough. He is dead set on getting them a better, safer place. The classic hero grind begins now. Meanwhile, over in the super spooky awakened prison, it is dinner time for the inmates. And look who it is. Bai Yi's dad, Bai Lingsheng, looking a little worse for wear as he grabs his prison grub. But wait, he slides some cash to the guard on the down low. Dad just smirks and says, I will leave that to you. Uh-oh, looks like someone's cooking something and it doesn't smell good. The guard gives a sinister little smile back. It's all been arranged, he can get out tomorrow, he whispers back. The next day, Bai Yi is back to grinding out his new mage skills. He is trying to get the hang of the boring stuff, casting time, and how much power he needs for each spell. It is all about the stats, baby. Meanwhile, Another student is going full-on beast mode, screaming about completing 10 sets. Settle down, my guy. Fast forward to Wednesday, and Bai Yi's friends are trying to drag him out for some post-school fun. They ask him to grab dinner, but our boy shuts them down. He has got to get home. His friends call him out for being cold, and just as he is walking away, he stops. Dramatic pause. He turns and gives his archer buddy some pro-gamer advice. You take too long to activate your skill. Work on your opening moves. See? He does care. The archer immediately bursts into flames of pure motivation. His other friend, Specs, just smiles. He knows Bai Yi is just a big softie. The very next day, things take a serious turn. Specs is at the hospital, and the doctor tells him it is a good thing he came in. Turns out he has a parasitic tumor in his lungs, and it is the kind that can grow super fast. Yikes. The doc tells him to get surgery scheduled ASAP. A totally freaked out Specs agrees to set it up for next week. And then it clicks. He remembers Bai Yi's weird warning from a few days back. You know, the one we totally forgot about. He's thinking, how in the world could he have known? Suddenly, his buddy Bai Yi seems a whole lot more mysterious. While he is spiraling about that, he walks past some students gossiping about our favorite bully, Hong Qiansheng. Apparently, Hong has been power leveling on the side. He has already hit E-Class, level 4, and is basically guaranteed first place. His secret weapon? His family owns a private labyrinth for training their own army. Talk about being a pay-to-win player. But then the gossip gets dark. They say Hong is planning to teach lessons to the guy who ticked him off. I think we all know who that is. Specs freezes when he hears the kicker. Hong is armed, it is happening off campus, and he is not just planning to fight, he is planning to kill him. And just like that, Specs is having a complete meltdown. He's thinking, no, I should never have provoked scum like him. He bolts down the hallway like his life depends on it, screaming that he has to hurry and help Bai Yi. His brain is running a mile a minute. He just knows Hong is the type to play dirty, probably setting up an ambush with his whole crew. But then he slams on the brakes. The self-doubt kicks in hard. What good am I even gonna be? Classic side character moment. And just as quickly, his resolve hardens. He remembers that Bai Yi saved his life, and you just don't forget a debt like that. He clenches his fist. He knows what needs to be done. Even if it kills me, he thinks, I have to save my brother. Look at that character development. His one rule was to avoid trash, but his new bro is way more important. So with a mighty crack, he rips the entire padlock clean off the armory door. Where did that strength come from? He throws the heavy doors open, laser focused on his one and only mission. He's about to get some serious loot. My man has the face of pure, unfiltered determination. He has officially entered the zone. And what does he grab? Of course, it's the biggest, baddest battle axe on the rack. He strikes a heroic pose in the doorway, yelling, Bai Yi, hang on. This is his big moment, folks. But of course, he gets interrupted right on cue. A voice yells out, why are you trying to break into the armory? He whips around, and it is none other than the class monitor Chi Yin standing right there. She looks at the dude holding a giant axe and asks, what's wrong? You look like you're in a hurry. You think? Specs has no time to explain. He just shouts, I have to go to save Bai Yi. And with that, he's gone, leaving Chi Yin completely baffled and probably wondering what is even happening at this school. Meanwhile, the guy who supposedly needs saving Bai Yi is just casually strolling with his bike down a deserted alley. He stops, not even looking back, and calls out, come on out. You've been following me since school. What do you want? A figure emerges from the shadows. It's Hong, and he's literally glowing with a red I'm the bad guy aura. He sneers. Obviously, I'm here to settle the score from last weekend. Man, this dude holds a grudge. And that is all it takes. Hong lets out a battle cry and activates his accelerate skill, rushing forward like a missile. He follows it up with backstab, blink behind, a teleport skill. This guy is playing on easy mode. But Bai Yi is more than ready. His hand glitches like a video game asset as he prepares to summon his own weapon. Clang! Bai Yi's blade materializes out of thin air and blocks the attack without even breaking a sweat. Hong is completely floored. His attack power is actually higher than mine. How is that possible? Bai Yi just gives him this look, eyes glowing, and drops the coldest line. Did you think that you were the only one who got stronger? And in one smooth motion, Bai Yi does not just block. He shatters Hong's blade and sends him flying. Total domination. Hong's brain just blue screened. He cannot compute what just happened. Looks like he needs a firmware update. BM. Before he can even blink, Bai Yi is on him, grabbing him by the throat and slamming him into a wall. Hong did not feel it last time, but now, after all his own training, he feels it in an instant. The guy in front of him is on a completely different level. A level he can never, ever hope to reach. Pinned against the wall, it finally clicks for Hong Qiansheng. All that grinding, all that training, and the gap between them is still an absolute canyon. He just can't process it. He sputters out, you leveled up too? What level are you? How is this even possible? Hong just loses it, screaming about how hard he worked just to hit level 4. There is no way Bai Yi should have passed him this easily. Bai Yi just scoffs at him. Hard work? He leans in, his voice dripping with ice, and asks the coldest question ever. Have you ever died? Even beaten on the ground, Hong is still trying to be a tough guy. He spits, cut the crap, just kill me or torture me, do whatever you want. But Bai Yi pulls a fast one on him. He says, I don't hate you that much. You came alone, no ambush, you just wanted a fair fight, right? Hong of course can't handle the pity and tells him to finish it or get ready for round 2. And Bai Yi's patience just snapped. Okay, I take it back. I do hate you. And right on cue, Specs and Shi Yin finally show up with a giant axe ready for action. Pity for them, the fight is already over. Actually, I've been waiting for you, Bai Yi says, completely changing his tune. He turns to Hong and says, let's make a deal. He's offering Hong a way to get stronger way faster than he could on his own. But as we all know, a power-up like that always comes with a price. Alright, let's jump forward to May 29th. It's assessment day, and after a week of training, the students are gathered for a combat simulation. A teacher gets on the mic warning everyone that even though they call it a simulation, the labyrinth they're about to enter is 100% real and very dangerous. To keep the newbies from becoming monster chow, some high school seniors will be tagging along as guides. They're basically just there for emergency support. The plan is simple. Students get split into teams of 4 or 5, and each team gets a senior babysitter to lead them into a dungeon. They have 2 choices. The standard F-class labyrinth for normal people, or the much tougher E-class labyrinth where failure means you lose school credits. Alright, it's decision time. The teacher asked for a show of hands for anyone brave or foolish enough to take on the E-class labyrinth. To absolutely no one's surprise, the class monitor Chi Yin raises her hand, and right behind her, a very determined Hong Qin Sheng does the same. The other students are all impressed by their guts. The teacher counts 8 volunteers total. But Chi Yin notices something weird. Bai Yi didn't even flinch. Just as the teacher is about to assign everyone else to the easy F-class, Bai Yi speaks up. Wait a moment, teacher. With the entire auditorium staring at him, he makes the most insane declaration. I would like to challenge the school's D-class Spirit Jade Labyrinth. That's a wrap on this recap. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep pumping out awesome content. Catch you in the next one.